Hey fans, the Brise is back on Guys Time. We got lots to go over today. We got the Detroit Red Wings. We got to talk about March Madness, which is only a couple weeks away. Believe it or not, it's been wild, a crazy week, crazy season rather in college basketball. So we got to dive into that a little bit. We got to discuss the Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol fight that happened this past Saturday. It was an absolute great fight. Another majority decision victory for Bivol this time instead of Beterbiev. So we'll discuss that in a little bit into detail. And then we got UFC. We had UFC Fight Night last Saturday, and then we got UFC 312 next Saturday. Alex Pereira going to be competing in that one. But yeah, we'll go into all that in a little bit. But we got to discuss these Detroit Red Wings, winners of 2 straight since the ending of the Four Nations face-off championship game between the United States and Canada. And yeah, Canada wins. Of course they do. It's their game, right? I mean, it was a great setup, a great format. I've said it numerous times on this podcast. I've posted it on my Instagram page. Keep the Four Nations format. Get rid of the All-Star game. We don't want it. Hockey fans, Four Nations stays. It was unbelievable just to see the United States, Canada, Sweden, Finland, 4 countries competing, best of the best. And whoever goes to the championship, whoever has the most points, goes to the championship game and wins. And yeah, how fitting was it for the United States of America going up against Canada? And then yes, obviously Canada wins, right? So it was awesome. Keep that in play. But we got to talk about the Detroit Red Wings. The Detroit Red Wings, like I said, winners of 2 straight. They won 5-4 this past Sunday in overtime against the Anaheim Ducks at home. And that's the thing. They were up 4-2, the Red Wings were, in this going into the third period. After the second period, they were up 4-2. And they almost blew that game. They almost lost in overtime. So that was a big win for us. And then we traveled Tuesday night to Minnesota. Great team. They're third in their conference. They won the Red Wings win this one too, 3-2. Obviously avenging their loss from Saturday. So yeah, they beat Minnesota 3-2. Simon Edvinsson, tall guy in his 20s, absolutely great. He had 2 goals in this game. He looked absolutely phenomenal. They were down 2-0 after the first period, the Red Wings were. 2-0 early in this game, and they tied it at 2 after the second, and then they ended up winning in the third, scoring a goal by Simon Edvinsson. So great game from him, great comeback victory for these guys, being down 2-0 against a good team in Minnesota. A much needed victory for the Detroit Red Wings after losing to them last Saturday in that heartbreaker at home in overtime when they were up 3-1 going into the third period. So this Detroit Red Wings team, man, they can have leads and blow leads, or they can be down by 2 goals and, come back and shine and get the victory. This is a very aggressive, very tough Detroit Red Wings team. You got to owe it to Todd McLellan. We'll get to him in a little bit, but he's definitely changed the identity of that team, and that's something we desperately needed because Derek Lalonde, let's be honest, he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't getting the job done. That guy, crap. I mean, he was not doing a good job. Todd McLellan comes in, and we have 2 7-game winning streaks since his time being here as the head coach of the Detroit Red Wings. But like I said, we'll get to that in a couple seconds. We got to talk about the Red Wings more. So yeah, they win against Minnesota 3-2 this past Tuesday night on the road in Minnesota. So a huge 2 points for the Detroit Red Wings. It's revenge, obviously, like I said, from last Saturday, February 22nd, when they lost to Minnesota at home, though. So they beat us on our ice. We beat them on their ice. We were up 3-1, as I mentioned. Going into the third period, we blew it in overtime, 4-3. Cam Talbot was in the net in that game. He was also in the net for this past Tuesday night's game against Minnesota. So a bounce-back win for him, a bounce-back win for the Red Wings. They got the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight at home, 7 o'clock on ESPN+. So check that one out, or wherever you get your Red Wings nowadays, because it seems like you got pay all this money just to watch Detroit Red Wings. I mean, we live in Michigan. A lot of us live in Michigan. And now a lot of us are, forced, basically, to sign up for FanDuel Sports. And then I hear Amazon Prime is carrying the Red Wings, the Pistons, and the Tigers. So you got to pay a subscription for that, too. It's just money, money, money. Greed, man. What happened to the good old days where you can just go on the TV and watch the Red Wings? And they're there. You don't have to pay an extra subscription or anything. It's crazy how all this streaming, it's getting out of control. You can't even watch the Red Wings anymore. It's insane without paying so much money. So you had that going on. But yeah, you got the Red Wings on tonight. Columbus versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. They're only a couple points behind us in the wild card. They got the second spot. We got the first spot. So this is a very important game for the Detroit Red Wings. And then it sets up for the Saturday matchup against Columbus in Ohio Stadium, in the Horseshoe, where the Ohio State Buckeyes play football. 6 p.m., the Stadium Series, Red Wings, Columbus. It's going to be a great one there, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, so with the win this past Tuesday night against the Minnesota Wild, the Red Wings got the top wild card spot, as I mentioned, 66 points. Columbus, I do believe they have 64 points. Yeah, they're behind with 64 points. So, like I said, these next two games against Columbus, we got to win them both. You know, we got to get 2 points out of these guys because that wild card spot, it's very, very tight this year. So we have that going on. But then we got to talk about Todd McLellan. This guy is unbelievable. And he was an assistant coach for the Red Wings when they won the Stanley Cup back in 2008. He's coached all over. He's coached the Sharks. He's coached the Nashville Predators. He was with the Kings for a little bit. So he knows what he's doing. But under Todd McLellan, since he was hired December 26th, day after Christmas last year, they are 17-5-2 under his leadership. This guy is awesome. They've had 2 7-game winning streaks in that span, which is absolutely phenomenal. 4-0 road trip earlier this year, and that was the first time they went 4-0 on a road trip since 1996. That was the year I was born, ladies and gentlemen. 28 years ago, about to be 29 years ago, since the last time the Red Wings went on a 4-0 road trip winning streak, or they had a 4-0 road trip record. So it's been a very long time since that's happened. Now we got to talk about the power play. So the power play under Todd McLellan has been absolutely phenomenal. 29.2%. This is according to ESPN.com. 29.2%. And they're just behind the Winnipeg Jets, who have the top power play goal percentage with 32.5%. So we're second. We have the second best power play goal percentage in the NHL, and it's all because of Todd McLellan. He has changed that game, and you see it. You guys, if you guys watch the Red Wings game and they're on a power play, you guys know they're going to get a goal, whether it's from Dylan Larkin, whether it's from Lucas Raymond, Patrick Kane, whoever, Alex DeBrincat, whoever wants to score the goal, give it to those guys. Those are your star players. But this power play of the Detroit Red Wings has been absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, second in the league with 29.2%. Behind the Winnipeg Jets, who have the best power play goal percentage with 32.5%. It's unbelievable. These guys, I mean, the Red Wings, flipped the script, a complete 180 from what they were doing with Derek Lalonde. And then as a result of all this going on, the wins and power plays, it's helped them. It supported them to get the top spot in the Western Conference, or in the wild card rather, in the Eastern Conference. They get the top spot in the wild card for the Eastern Conference. I mean, the Red Wings are amazing. I mean, they're playing some good hockey right now. Like I said, winners of 2 straight. Hopefully they can get the 3rd straight tonight. Columbus is a tough team. Like I said, they're second behind us in the wild card spot. We got them tonight, obviously, as I mentioned, February 27th, 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus or FanDuel Sports, wherever you can get your Red Wings nowadays. Because like I said, it's getting out of control with this streaming crap. You can't even watch the Red Wings for it's got to be an expense. It could be very expensive to watch the Detroit Red Wings. So watch hockey. It's insane. But you got them tonight, Columbus Blue Jackets. And then, like I said, sets up for the Saturday showdown, the Saturday matchup between these two teams, 6 p.m. on ESPN, the Ohio Stadium, the Stadium Series in the Horseshoe, where the Ohio State Buckeyes football team plays. And then overall, the Detroit Red Wings have a 2-0-2 record in the outdoor games, in these outdoor game series. So the last one they competed in was January 1st of 2017. So 8 years ago was the last time the Red Wings competed in an outdoor game, and they unfortunately lost to the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-4 in overtime in Toronto at the Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. But yeah, this is awesome, man. Like I said, just the outdoor stadium, it's a different atmosphere, it's a different vibe. You got one of the original 6 teams, obviously the Detroit Red Wings, going up against the Columbus Blue Jackets. They're right behind us in that wild card, man. So these next 2 games, tonight and Saturday night against the Columbus Blue Jackets, it's going to be very important for these Red Wings to, come in here and get ready to fight, get ready to compete, because Columbus, They want that top wild card spot. We got to protect it. Like I said, the wild card standings have been absolutely crazy this year. Like I'm looking at right now on my computer, the wild card spot, obviously the Detroit Red Wings got the top wild card spot with 66 points. Then you got the Columbus Blue Jackets with 64 points, and this is from the Eastern Conference, right? And then you got the New York Rangers. You got the New York Rangers, the Ottawa Senators, and the Boston Bruins all tied for that third spot with 62 points. Then you got the Montreal Canadiens with 59 points. So this is up for grabs, and this is February 27th. We got lots of hockey to play, before the playoffs start. The Red Wings definitely need to beat the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight and Saturday night. That would help us tremendously. But this Columbus Blue Jackets team, winners of 2 straight as well, they're a very good hockey team. So Red Wings, handle your business. Get this done. Beat these guys tonight. So yeah, watch the Red Wings. They've been playing great. Winners of 2 straight. Power play, second best in the league. You got the Columbus Blue Jackets coming to the Little Caesars Arena tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus or FanDuel Sports, wherever you watch your Red Wings. Watch the game tonight. It's going to be phenomenal. And then watch that Saturday matchup, the Stadium Series in Columbus, Ohio, at Ohio Stadium between the Detroit Red Wings and the Columbus Blue Jackets. That game on Saturday starts at 6 o'clock. That's going to be a good one as well. So we have that going on. Now we got to talk about March Madness. I mean, we're almost there, guys. We got a couple weeks away. We're only a couple weeks away from March Madness. Isn't that crazy? It's unbelievable. Selection Sunday, we'll go through the schedule here for all you basketball fanatics out there, college basketball fanatics, I should say. So Selection Sunday, 6 p.m. on March 16th on CBS. You have that going on. They get the brackets going with that. The first four teams who have an opportunity to enter the March Madness bracket, the March Madness tournament. Those games are going to happen on March 18th through the 19th. And then the first round of March Madness occurs on March 20th through the 21st. And then it all comes down. It all accumulates to the championship game, April 7th in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Who's going to win the championship this year? We got UConn, the back-to-back champions. They won it last year, 75-60 versus Purdue. And then they beat San Diego State 2 years ago, 2023, the 2023 championship game, 76-59. But now this year, UConn, they're 18-9. They're 4th in the Big East. St. John's is the leader. They're at the top of that division with a 15-2 record. So it's anyone's ball game. You got Auburn, number 1, 25-2 record. They've been great all year long. Duke, obviously known for their basketball, their college basketball, a lot of great talent. Mike Krzyzewski was the coach for many years now. Or he was the coach for many years there. He's since been retired. 24-3 record for Duke. They're number 2 in the nation. Florida, they usually have a good basketball program. They won back-to-back championships many years ago. 2006 and 2007, I do believe they won back-to-back NCAA basketball championships under Billy Donovan. Yeah, many years ago. Like I said, I think Joakim Noah was on that team, and he's been out of the NBA for a while. So many years ago, but They have a decent basketball team. Number 3, good enough rather for number 3, 24-3 record. And this is all the Associated Press top 25. And this is all on ESPN.com. You guys can check it out. Houston, number 4, Tennessee, Alabama, pretty good. St. John's up there with number 7. Michigan State, they've been fantastic all year round. 22-5 record. They lead the Big Ten. Michigan's right behind them. Michigan up there as well. Michigan ranked number 15 in the nation. So you got Iowa State at 9. Texas Tech is 10. So that's your top 10 right there. But yeah, Michigan State. I want to talk about them real quick. Did you guys see that game last night between them and Maryland? It was tied at 55 seconds to go. Michigan State guy shoots the half court and he drains it, man. 58-55. What a way to end that game. Big Ten matchup on the road at Maryland. Michigan State, unbelievable. Watch out for Michigan State in March Madness. I'm telling you, that's a team that they find a way. They find a way to creep up and play solid basketball when it comes to March Madness. Tom Izzo's been there for over 30 years. One of the greatest coaches of all time. Last week, he set the record for most Big Ten wins for any basketball coach in history. So congrats to him. He absolutely deserves it. Me being a Michigan fan, Tom Izzo is one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time. Like I said, he's great. You know, yeah, he has that one national championship victory, obviously, in 2000. I was 4 years old at that time. Yeah, long time ago. But his team always finds a way to enter this tournament. And he always has physical teams. He has teams that can shoot the ball, rebound, play great defense. Nothing's changed. I mean, that 22-5 record, it speaks for itself. So Michigan State, I'm going to be really surprised how they do in this tournament. You got a few more games. I do believe all teams have like 3 or 4 more games going on before March Madness officially begins. But Michigan State is one of those teams that you cannot overlook. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be very interesting how all these teams come about when March Madness happens, because March Madness, it's my favorite time of the year. It's one of my favorite times of the year. Really the only time I watch college basketball. And yeah, I should watch more. That's on me. But March Madness, you cannot deny how exciting March Madness is. The tournament's unbelievable. You don't know what's going to happen. A 14th seed can beat the number 1 seed in the first round. And I've seen it happen numerous times. Anything can happen, dude. It's awesome. So you guys fill out a bracket this year. I might fill out a bracket, but I'm definitely going to watch this March Madness tournament because I just really want to see how this all plays out. And as I mentioned, UConn, back-to-back champions. They won it last year, 2024, and then they won it the year previous, 2023, under Dan Hurley. He's changed that program. You know, UConn's always had a good basketball program. You know, they've won national championships even when I was a kid. Obviously, that 2014, matchup, or that 2014 championship game, Kevin Ollie, who used to be a basketball player there, they won the national championship against Kentucky, 60-54. That was a great game as well. And then they have 2 against under Jim Calhoun as well. 2011, they beat Butler 53-41, and then they won it in 2004 as well. Connecticut under Jim Calhoun beat Georgia Tech 82-73, and then a third one in 1999. So 3 under Jim Calhoun beat Duke 77-74. A lot closer there. Well, Duke's a basketball school, so it makes sense. But UConn, they're a basketball school too, man. They got championships to prove it. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to win it this year. 3 straight national championships in college basketball is very hard to accomplish. Just like winning 3 straight Super Bowls. The Chiefs tried it this year against the Eagles, and they got absolutely annihilated. They got destroyed by the Eagles. I don't know if that's going to be the same fate for the UConn Huskies. We'll see what happens, but back-to-back, national champions, that's pretty good. But, 18-9, 4th in the Big East. You got St. John's to compete with because they're at the top of the division with a 15-2 record in the division. But anything can happen. So, yeah, UConn's the team to beat. The defending national champions, winners of back-to-back national champions for the NCAA men's basketball championship. We'll see what happens. But like I said, don't sleep on Michigan State. That team's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be very interesting how they compete. Tom Izzo, him. He's going to get his team ready for March Madness. So yeah, check that one out. We got a few weeks away, so watch the rest of the college basketball season. Got March Madness coming around in a few weeks. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. So you have that going on. Now we got to talk about this Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol 2 matchup last Saturday. So Bivol won the undisputed light heavyweight champion. He's the new undisputed light heavyweight champion. It was absolutely phenomenal just to see him get his revenge from the October matchup between these 2 competitors. Artur Beterbiev won that one by majority decision. This time it's the other way around. Dmitry Bivol won by majority decision. 114-114, 116-112, 115-113. The scoring was completely identical from the first time around between these 2 boxers. Crazy, right? So you have to think, boxing fans, do we want to see a trilogy fight between these 2? Hell yeah, absolutely. We want to see a trilogy fight because we deserve a trilogy fight. We want to see someone decisively win, possibly get knocked out, whatever the case may be. But yeah, 2 majority decision wins for both Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. We have to have that 3rd fight. I mean, the boxing, if they were smart, they would definitely book that. They have to. They have to book that. and I'm pretty sure they will. They'll give boxing fans what they want. You know, I was talking to my buddy Kamal Macklin. You guys know him. I mentioned him numerous times on the podcast. He's a pro boxer as well. He's 1-0 on his career. He even said this was a great fight. He said this was even better than the first fight, which a lot of people have said that. So we need a third fight between these two. You know, Dimitri Bivol is the new undisputed light heavyweight champion, won by majority decision. Beterbiev, as a result, his first loss of his career, 21-1 is his official record now. You know, he still has those 20 knockouts. But 40 years old, 21-1, he was the undisputed light heavyweight champion. That's a hell of a career. Dimitri Bivol, 24-1 as a result of that victory last Saturday against Artur Beterbiev for the undisputed light heavyweight championship. So now he's beaten Artur Beterbiev. You know, he's beaten Canelo Alvarez. So, you know, Dimitri Bivol definitely has a resume. You know, and he's only 34 years old. He's got many years left in boxing. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm really excited to see if they make a trilogy fight. They should. You know, I think boxing fans deserve it. So you had that going on. It was awesome. This whole card, you know, was pretty amazing. You know, Joseph Parker beats Martin Bakole. Obviously, Martin Bakole coming in for Daniel Dubois because Daniel Dubois got sick. So coming in as a like a last second replacement. Unfortunately, he lost by knockout. You know, in the second round, you knew that was going to happen. He didn't have the proper camp to train for this fight. Joseph Parker is a savage. Big heavyweights going at it. Martin Bakole, you know, good for him to step in and try to save that fight for Joseph Parker, but yeah, he didn't get the proper camp like Joseph Parker did. So you had that going on. Shakur Stevenson defeating Josh Padley. Josh Padley, this guy was an electrician that past Tuesday, and then he's fighting on Saturday. And then they were saying that he made enough money to retire and get a house for himself. So good for him. And he lasted 9 rounds with Shakur Stevenson. He lost by TKO, but Josh Padley, congrats to you, my friend. I mean, I respect anyone who gets in the ring. I respect anyone who gets in the octagon, anyone who does combat sports for a living. You know, even if it's not your primary job, like in the case of Josh Padley, this guy's an electrician, man. He's in the skills trades. You know, he's already in pain. He's already aching and, dealing with a lot. Now you got to go in a boxing ring and get pummeled for 9 rounds. Hey, man, you know what? Like I said, good for him. He came in, short notice, because Shakur Stevenson's original opponent, Schofield, had to withdraw because he got sick as well. So Josh Padley comes in and steps up, and unfortunately he lost. So yeah, it seems like the guys who step in lose. Yeah, it's crazy, right? But they don't have the proper camp to make it a fight. But hey, congrats to Josh Padley for stepping in. So you had that going on. Carlos Adams and Hamza Shiraz ends in a split draw. So 115-114 for Shiraz, 118-110 for Adams. So I mean that judge was way off, because then the third judge marked it 114-114. So split draw, maybe a rematch, probably. We'll see what happens with that. And then Virgil Ortiz Jr. defeats Israel Madrimov. Unanimous decision win there. Aga Caballo defeats Gile Jean by knockout. 6th round with that. And then Callum Smith defeated Joshua Buatsi by unanimous decision. So, I mean, these fights were great. Great card. Like I said, Beterbiev and Bivol 3 needs to happen. Boxing fans deserve it. But yeah, congratulations to Dimitri Bivol, becoming the new undisputed light heavyweight champion of boxing. Masterclass. He looked absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, we definitely need a third matchup between Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol, because that would be amazing. So you have that going on. So boxing news right then and there. It was awesome. So now you got UFC. We got UFC Fight Night Seattle. I watched the main card. It was good until the main event, because the main event was all goofy. So Yan Zaydan, or Son Yadon rather, he won by technical decision, they were saying. So Henry Cejudo cannot continue because he got poked in the eye. Like Son Yadon poked him very bad in the eye. Cejudo said he couldn't see And he repeatedly said that. So, yeah, he got poked in the eye. Referee Jason Herzog, he's a great referee, one of the best in the business. He did something very strange, something I really never seen in mixed martial arts or really any combat sports. He waited till the 4th round started, and then all of a sudden he waves his hands like this to call off the fight. Like, dude, when you see Henry Cejudo said he can't see, right then and there, you should have called the fight. It should have been a no contest right then and there. But no, Song Yadong gets awarded a technical decision victory because Henry Cejudo cannot continue. It doesn't make sense. I've never seen it. Jason Herzog, I don't know what he was thinking. I'm not, the guru of these rules of the UFC. I know enough to understand what's going on, but if anything, this fight should have been a no contest, right? I don't know, because it seemed like Song Yadong was winning this fight. So if anything, maybe a draw, just based off the scoring from the first couple of rounds. But, you can't end a fight like that. Like, okay, yeah, Henry Cejudo got poked in the eye. Very bad by Song Yadong. Should have been marked down a point for Song Yadong? Absolutely. And then maybe with that, it would have been like a split decision win or a draw. Or make it easy on everyone. No contest. Henry Cejudo cannot continue. He's blind. He cannot see. Call it no contest. No winner. It's crappy. It's shitty. But that's how fights are sometimes. But, for a main event fight, this is how the fight ends. A technical decision win for a guy who poked the other guy in the eyes very badly. And that guy gets rewarded and Henry Cejudo kicks rocks. I didn't understand that. It was weird. Lots of controversy surrounding that whole fight last Saturday. But it is what it is. So now Henry Cejudo wants to run it back. We're not going to see it. I think Dana White, UFC president, even said it's not going to happen. So I think Henry Cejudo should retire. He has nothing else to prove. He's an Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. He's a former flyweight and bantamweight champion in the UFC. A storied career, 16-5 record. He has nothing to prove. He's one of the best to ever lace them up. So you had that going on. Yeah, for a main event fight, man, yeah, it's crappy. And, it's just really, really crappy to see that. I didn't understand it. Like, I was confused as much as the audience there that night in Seattle. But, man, just a crappy way to end that fight night. So, yeah, that going on. So, yeah, all the other fights. Anthony Hernandez beats Brandon Allen by unanimous decision. He looked fantastic. Rob Font defeated Jean Matsumoto by split decision. That was a closer fight. A really good fight there. Alonzo Menifield won against Julius Parker by a split decision. So, that was a interesting fight as well. And then you had a bunch of knockouts in the prelims. So, overall, decent pay-per-view, decent fight night for the UFC. But that main event, that was really crappy how that ended. So you had that going on. But now we got to get ready for fight night this weekend. So check that one out. But then 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus, you got that going on. But we got to check out UFC 313, March 8th. So not this Saturday coming up, but the following Saturday. Pay-per-view, 10 o'clock, main card. You got Alex Pereira defending the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship against Magomed Ankalaev. This one's going to be awesome. This one, 2 light heavyweights going at it. Magomed Ankalaev is 21-1. 11 of those victories come by knockout or TKO. He's on an 11-fight winning streak, so he's destined for gold. He wants that gold very badly. But then he's going up against Alex Pereira, who's an absolute savage. So his last loss, Magomed Ankalaev. And yeah, Magomed Ankalaev, his last loss in the UFC was in 2018. So 7 years ago against Paul Craig, and he lost by submission. Since then, he's been on an 11-fight winning streak. He had a draw and a no contest there and during that winning streak as well. But, this guy, this is definitely a great matchup for Alex Pereira, the UFC light heavyweight champion. He comes in with a 12-2-0 record. 10-1 record by TKO knockout. He's on a 5-fight winning streak. This is his 4th title defense. As a result, he's beaten some of the best. He's beaten Yuri Prochazka twice in that time. He's beaten Sean Strickland once. So Alex Pereira looking to add Magomed Ankalaev to his list of guys he's defended the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship title on and defeated. So that's the main event. 5 rounds for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. He also beat Khalil Roundtree. That was his last fight. He beat Khalil Roundtree Jr. Last year, I do believe August of last year, to retain the light heavyweight championship. So he's defending his title against Khalil Roundtree, who's going to go up against Jamal Hill in April. Just saw that news come in on my Instagram. So Alex Pereira is ready to fight, and so is Magomed Ankalaev. I think he's been waiting for this opportunity, 11-fight winning streak. Why not, right? He deserves this opportunity to possibly become the new UFC light heavyweight champion. We'll see what happens, but my pick for this one, I can't go away from Alex Pereira. This guy is amazing. This guy is a savage. Ever since he came to the UFC, I mean, he's beaten Israel Adesanya. He's beaten Sean Strickland. These are former champions, by the way. He's beaten Yuri Prochaska twice. He's beaten Khalil Roundtree Jr. In that time span. So Alex Pereira is a savage. He's going to beat Magomed Ankalaev. He's going to retain the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. I got Alex Pereira winning this one on March 8th, next Saturday, live on pay-per-view, 10 o'clock, the main card. So you have that. That's the main event. Now the co-main event. I was really excited about this one. It was supposed to be Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. Justin Gaethje, 25-5 record. Dan Hooker, 24-12-0 record. It was called off. I saw this last week because Dan Hooker injured his hand, so he can't continue. He can't compete in next Saturday night. So Rafael Fiziev, former opponent for Justin Gaethje, steps in, and now he's going to fight Justin Gaethje in a rematch from their 2023 matchup where Justin Gaethje won by majority decision. That was a great fight. It was in UFC 286. It was the Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman 3 fight there. Great fight between these two guys. So here's the rematch. So Rafael Fiziev, this is your opportunity to get your rematch. This is an opportunity to get your revenge against the highlight, Justin Gaethje. It's not going to happen. Justin Gaethje, I think he bounces back from that knockout loss last April again at UFC 300 against Max Holloway. That was the greatest knockout I ever seen. 1 second left, 5th and final round. Both of those guys said, screw it, we're throwing hands right in the middle of the octagon, and boom, Max Holloway knocks out Justin Gaethje. Like, knocks him out. I have never seen Justin Gaethje get knocked out, ever. But Max Holloway knocked him out. But Justin Gaethje has had enough time to recover. He's going to bounce back. Rafael Fiziev, don't sleep on him as well. He's a striker. He's a great fighter. He's fun and exciting to watch. But these two are officially going at it. Rematch from their 2023 matchup. That's the co-main event for UFC 313 next Saturday, March 8th. I can't wait for that one as well. It's going to be a great matchup, a great rematch, like I said, between these two fighters. But I got Justin Gaethje. He's one of my favorite fighters. I'm going to pick him to win this fight against Rafael Fiziev. But like I said, don't sleep on Rafael Fiziev. He's a great fighter. He's exciting to watch. Just like Justin Gaethje. Like I said, this time instead of majority decision, someone's going to get knocked out, and that person's going to be Rafael Fiziev. So I got Justin Gaethje winning the co-main event in that one. I got Alex Pereira winning his fight for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship against Magomed Ankalaev. And then I got Justin Gaethje winning his fight against Rafael Fiziev. Two great fights. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. And then you got Jalen Turner on this card as well. He's been around the UFC for a while now. Amanda Lemos, women's strawweight, competing in this one. King Green, no, he was known as Bobby Green, but he legally changed his name to King Green. We'll see how he does against Mauricio Ruffy, who has 11-1 record. But yeah, like I said, I would love to see Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. That would have been a banger. That would have been an absolute phenomenal fight between those two. But Rafael Fiziev stepping in, good for him, dude. See these guys compete. Their rematch from the 2023 matchup when Justin Gaethje won by majority decision at UFC 286. So now we'll see what happens with that fight. But that's going to be a good fight. The main event, Alex Pereira defending the UFC light heavyweight title against Magomed Ankalaev. That's gonna be a great fight as well. So watch this pay-per-view, UFC 313, Saturday, March 8th. Main card starts at 10 o'clock. Prelims start at 8. Check it out. It's going to be a good one. So that's UFC for you guys. And that's it. That's today's episode. So thank you for joining me on this edition of Guys Time with the Bryce. The Bryce is out. So thank you for joining me. This episode is going to be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. Check it out right now or in a couple minutes once I send it out there. And then the YouTube. The video version of this episode is going to be available on my YouTube channel. Subscribe at Guys Time with the Bryce. You guys have been phenomenal, as always. You guys are amazing. But thank you for joining me. And then also this weekend, WWE fans, we got the Elimination Chamber this Saturday, 7 p.m. on Peacock. If you're a Peacock subscriber, you will have the opportunity to watch the pay-per-view. So WWE fans, check out WWE Elimination Chamber live from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. John Cena is going to be in there. So, yeah, this is John Cena's last round. This is his retirement run from the WWE. And then after this year, he's done. That's what he said. We'll see if that's true or not because you know how they say, oh, I'm done, but then they come back. We'll see what happens with that. But he sounded pretty legitimate when he said he was all done after this year. But he will be at the Elimination Chamber. So, yeah, watch WWE this weekend. Watch some college basketball, some hockey, the Stadium Series between the Detroit Red Wings and the Columbus Blue Jackets this Saturday night, 6 p.m. on ESPN, live from Ohio Stadium in the Horseshoe. Ohio State Buckeyes football team plays there. Go Red Wings. Take care of business. Take care of business tonight against these Columbus Blue Jackets. We need those points. As you've heard in the podcast, that the wild card bracket's very, very tight this year. So Red Wings, we need these wins tonight and Saturday night against those Columbus Blue Jackets. So, yeah, watch some hockey, watch some college basketball. We got March Madness right around the corner. Got UFC Fight Night this weekend as well. Watch UFC 313 next Saturday night, 10 p.m., main card on ESPN+. And then you got the Elimination Chamber, WWE Elimination Chamber this Saturday on Peacock. Premium live event in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. John Cena is going to be there. It's going to be awesome. So, yeah, awesome. Thank you, guys. Take care. The Bryce is out. You guys have a great rest of your day. And check out this episode. All right, peace out, guys. Have a great rest of your day.